champion boxing in sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell y'all something. If a fighter is looking for a change and they're not sure what trainer to go to, I truly believe it's important that they consider one of these top two boxing strategists. Ben Davidson and Robert Garcia. Let me tell you something, man. Any fighter that works with these guys, something happens to them. And what I mean by something, good things. Somehow they evolve, they become outstanding counter punchers, outstanding boxers. Their feints improve, their ability to throw counters, their footwork improves, their defense improves. I mean, they become complete fighters. Now, I will say that at the level these guys are at, they need somebody to come with them with some kind of skill and talent. However, I do think if they got a kid, they could grow that kid from small and turn him into a monster. But these guys have it together. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Anthony Joshua has a fight coming up this weekend, and El Rayo Jose Valenzuela recently had a fight. Now, El Rayo works with Robert Garcia, Joshua's with Ben Davidson. But I am going to tell you, that performance El Rayo put on against Pitbull, I would say it was amazing. Now, Pitbull, of course, isn't a guy who's floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. El Rayo had all the advantages, size, arm reach. Speed, I don't know if he was faster, but he had more advantages than Pitbull. But Robert Garcia was able to utilize what he had in El Rayo and to turn him into basically like, if they said, what's his name, Pitbull was bringing the heat, they turned El Rayo into a fire extinguisher. And he was able to out that Pitbull flame every single round with his work rate, with his timing, and his counter-punching ability. You know, it's very simple, man. When you get a guy who can throw a few punches and then wait for the expected counter, then come back with a counter of their own, then you got something special. Especially as you see these guys in the ring that are trying over and over to do it, and they're having success. And most fighters, you don't just get in the ring and decide to try that. That's something you develop in training camp. And when you have a top boxing strategist like Ben Davidson and Robert Garcia, you can do that. And the thing about it is, it works against all opponents. All opponents, man. Fast, slow, tall, short, skilled, unskilled. But the more aggressive the opponent, the better. And that's why it was so great for El Rayo, because he had an aggressive opponent in Pitbull. And that's why, his bait combos were outstanding to set up his nasty counters. You look at Ben Davis and Anthony Joshua. If you come at Anthony Joshua, the more aggressive you are, he's going to make you pay. Because Ben Davidson, like Robert Garcia, he's another one of those boxing strategists that are going to, work on what I call like deadly bait punch combinations. And you saw what happened when Joshua fought Otto Wallen. Crazy how he hit that man and almost killed him. And you saw what happened with Ngannou. He did kill Ngannou in the ring. But Joshua has never looked like that. He's always looked strong. He's always looked confident. But he's never quite looked like how he looked against Wallen and Ngannou. But then he had the right opponent in front of him. And I truly believe this weekend you're going to see the same thing when AJ gets ready to go in there and fight Dubois. And I think for Bam Rodriguez, who's working with Robert Garcia now, you're seeing a lot of the same shit. Anyway, if it was me, I'd be working with these boxing strategists, because the jab, bait the jab, throw the right counter. That's De La Hoya. I mean, that's Anthony Joshua all day. 1-2, bait the jab, throw a right counter. That right there is what El Rayo was able to do. Just take a step back, shoot the uppercut. El Rayo was doing so much that it was crazy. But you got to work on that in training camp. And I'm really, really interested to see what happens, man. Because Anthony Joshua's big right cross. He can knock you out with any hand, but that big right cross, ooh, 1, 2, boom, bink, bait your cross. Step aside, get underneath it, and throw a counter left hook. And then Joshua throw the right hand behind it. So he made you bink, bink, let you get yours off, shoot that hook, and come back with the right hand. And Joshua, when he throws that, it's normally he'll throw that 3, 2, then come back with the 3. And if he hits you with that shit, it's over. I think this weekend Joshua is going to destroy Dubois. Dubois has gotten better, but he ain't on Anthony Joshua's level. Simple. But the reason why he's not is because of the boxing strategists here that Joshua's picked up, Ben Davidson. And I don't care what anybody says, man. Being able to control the range and rhythm, being able to slip punches, understanding your endurance during a fight and how to kind of monitor and manage your stamina, your endurance. And when you get a guy who's always ducking, trying to get underneath the shots, just trying to understand how to deal with that. And that's just a handful of the things that Ben Davidson and Robert Garcia work on and bring to the table with their fighters. But I'm telling you, this weekend with Joshua, I think the shot that's going to knock out Dubois, I think it's going to be, he's going to throw the right hand. Dubois may eat it. He's going to come with the left hook. Dubois may kind of block it, but it's going to be that right uppercut. Like boom, 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 boom. That's what it's going to be. 1, 2, hook, and pow, that uppercut. The uppercut's going to be the shot to finish Dubois. Because Dubois is going to be coming at a full steam ahead. That's a suicide mission. And I don't think Dubois can defend against the uppercut. I'll be honest with you. When we're talking about close range fighting, fighting at a distance, I don't think Dubois can really do either one. He lets his hands go, but he hasn't shown me that he's really mastered fighting from the outside and fighting on the inside. I'm not convinced he can do all that effectively against AJ. But one thing for sure, he ain't throwing no light punches. Dubois is coming there letting his hands go. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I don't think there's any need for last-minute preparations. These guys are either in shape or they're not, and they're going to be ready to come in here and throw killer punches and win the fight. But I think AJ destroys him. But I think the reason why AJ is where he's at and why I favor AJ in any fight going forward is because of him having Ben Davidson. And anybody working with Robert Garcia, it's just hard for me to bet against Robert Garcia's guys because their ability, and this is the thing, when you start talking about boxing strategy, right? Somebody just sent me something. Boxing strategy and fight tactics. Look, those are the things that are going to help you win inside the ring. And when you have a good boxing strategist, that's where you'll see all that stuff shows up. And it's become more conditioned and skillful. I got a person text me while I'm talking to you. More conditioned and skillful in the art of boxing, strategy becomes the final step for defeating opponents. So strategy is the blueprint for winning while training, and techniques are the goals and the preparation. So I just think this week is going to be a good display of how a fighter can perform when he has a top boxing strategist working with him. And that's exactly what AJ has. He has a top boxing strategist. El Rayo had a top boxing strategist. Tyson Fury had a top boxing strategist. What's his name? Not Frazier, Clark. Wardley. He works with Ben Davidson, has a top boxing strategist. And Robert Garcia, the list goes on and on. Maidana, not Bam Rodriguez, that crazy ass guy, man. Bam, it was Bam, Rios. But there's so many other fighters that's worked with him and his dad. Anyway, man, I'm excited about this weekend. I may not go live for the whole card. That's too many goddamn fights for me. I can't do it. My son has basketball, but I will be going live for that Anthony Joshua Dubois. I'll be live for that. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.